Hello and welcome to another Arkis video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Tsukuba and we are driving the 1993 Honda Civic SIR2 EG on comfort medium tires. I am late to the party on this one. I tried it on Friday evening, gave it a quick half an hour run to give it my first impressions. This is a combo where I feel fairly confident, so I thought I would give it a go and do a video as well. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into my very first attempt. So this is late Friday afternoon. I'm jumping into sport mode. I'm picking up my prize for the previous time trial. I actually managed to get into top 50 on that one. And now we're jumping into the new time trial for the first time. And we will use the very first wobbly lap to look at some brake references. The first one coming up is the 50 board on the left hand side. I'm using that one, bringing the car towards the inside down to second gear. I might have braked a little bit too late, but we managed to find the last bit of the apex and get out of there. And now we've got the next marker coming up, and that's where the curb on the right hand side is the furthest to the left. So where it curves out there, we are slowing down, bringing the car, I'm running a bit too deep, but we're bringing the car down to second gear, accelerating out of there. And here you can look at where the brownish walls ends on both sides, and a tiny bit of braking just to bring some weight on the front tires and going through that corner in third gear. And we are just going flat out. Now we are looking at the start of that green part of the curb there on the left hand side. Once again, bringing the car down to second gear and trying to get as straight exit as possible. And we want to rev out the car so we bring the full potential. It will bog down a bit in third gear if you're not completely using second gear. Now we've got both the 50 board and the end of the trees there. You actually want to brake rather late so you can almost make the car slide a bit through this corner. I was a bit hesitant this time, and you can see it is compromising my exit because I had to make sure I didn't run wide. This is only silver for now, but that's the first lap, and we just carry on using the 50 board, bringing the car towards the inside. Just be patient around the corner. Front wheel drive car, don't stress out those front wheels. Let the car turn before you get back onto the power. And using that bit of the curb where it's furthest to the left, and that was a bit wide through that corner, but we managed to bring the car towards the inside so we can straight out the car and accelerate out of there. Tiny bit of braking here, getting back onto the power and just revving out third gear. And we are coming up towards the green part of the curb on the left hand side, bringing the car down to second gear. Just let the car turn, get around the corner, trying to straighten out the car, and be careful not to get too much wheel spin. And you can see I'm losing a tiny bit of time because you really need to make the most out of the gears. We're braking a bit later this time, using the releasing of the brake to get the rear end to step out a tiny bit so you can better line up the car for the final corner. We are down to a 1:12.5, so that is a goal time for now. We continue on the third lap in this session. We are keeping the car nicely to the inside, and we are bogging down a tiny bit in third gear. I think I had a bit of wheel spin in second gear. But now we are braking for the hairpin. That's a bit wide. You really want to bring the car towards the inside. There's also a bit of camber on the inside. You can use a tiny dab on the brakes just to get some weight on the front wheels, powering out of here, and just keep the foot planted. And once again, looking for the green bit and seeking towards the inside. You can see it's a bit downhill towards the inside, so you want to bring the car narrow in there. And once again, we are coming up towards the final corner, and let's see, maybe I can get the rear end to step out a tiny bit. So you want to brake a bit late and release the brake, make the car rotate. You can see I'm braking a bit more as well, and we managed to get a decent exit out of here. So now we're down to a 1:12.257. Lap number 3 wasn't that good, so we are starting on lap number 4 now, still in the beginning session, bringing the car towards the inside, and you're coming over a slight hill coming into turn 1, so it's important to just go across the track towards the apex. If you are running too deep, it's tricky to get the car back towards the inside. And once again, I try to make the car rotate towards the inside, use that camber on the inside, and powering out of here. Once again, a tiny bit of braking, getting back onto the power, and yeah, I'm losing a bit of time this time, but we are still ahead compared to my best lap so far. Looking for the green bit, seeking towards the inside. Once again, you want to use the angle of the track, don't run too deep into that corner, and we are powering out of there. And once again, yeah, I'm losing a bit of time. Really be careful to manage that tiny bit of wheel spin you can still get, even though this car is really steady. Braking at the end of the trees. You've got both the 50 board but also the end of the trees on the left hand side. And we managed to get a good exit out of here, so we are going across the line in a 1 minute 11.950. And I think, yeah, we're going to park the car and go and have a look. So we have been driving 4 laps now, and we've got a solid go time, but let's just carry on. So we are starting another lap, looking for the 50 board, seeking towards the right hand side, seeking towards the inside, using the release of the brake to make the car rotate. Just let the car do the turning without disturbing it too much. The front wheels are working a bit overtime in a front wheel drive car. And once again, trying to make the car rotate. That was a bit too deep. Maybe I got a bit too excited there, but maybe we are gaining a tiny bit on the exit there. And just trying to coast through this corner, get back onto the power, revving out the car, just stay in 3rd gear. We're coming up towards the green bit on the left hand side, seeking towards the inside, and once again using the release of the brake to make the car just rotate and coast around the corner, get back onto the power. And now for the final corner, you want to meet sort of the last bit of the inside curve, get the car lined up along that, then you can power out of there without understeering off the track. We are managing to just gain a tiny bit on that lap. We carry on into turn 1, getting the car rotated, and are we going to gain some time on the exit? Yeah, I think so. We almost smashed into the rev limiter there, looking for the widest bit of the curb. This time I'm definitely a bit too excited. I'm overshooting the hairpin, but we managed to find the apex again and at least straighten up the car to get out of there. I am sneaking across the line with another tiny improvement, down to a 111.927, and we are staying on board. Let's see what we can do on this lap. Maybe a bit too deep, but we find a late apex and can power out of there, and we start to gain a little bit of time, but we definitely lost some time on that turn 1. But let's not overshoot the hairpin this time. I overshot it a tiny bit, but we managed to just get the car turned with a bit of patience. Just don't stress out the car, and through this corner back onto the power as soon as we can. Stay on it, and once again looking for the green bit, down to 2nd gear, releasing the brake at the apex, make the car turn, and back onto the power. And we almost kissed the rev limiter there as well. Braking at the end of the tree, let the car coast in, a slight bit of braking to adjust the angle so we can find the last bit of the inside curb and power out of there. And we are down to a 111.853, and we carry on coming into turn 1. And yeah, I struggled a bit to get the car turned, but we managed to straighten up the car, get out of turn 1, losing a bit of time. Nope, we are gaining it back again. How about the hairpin this time? I'm using a bit of the grass as well to get a wide angle into this one. We get the car turned. I touched the inside curb a bit. You might want to avoid that. You will lose some time there. You can unsettle the car a tiny bit, even though it is a really stable car, even on these comfort medium tires. We have got the penultimate corner coming up. We are getting the car rotated. Just be patient on the power, back onto the power, and yeah, definitely hit the rev limiter this time, and hitting the brakes, releasing the brakes, A tiny bit of braking just to get some weight on the front wheels, finding that last bit of the curb and exiting out of there, and now we're going across the line in a 1 minute 11.732. So we are parking up once again after this 5-lap session. We've done 23 minutes and we are about to do our final run of the video. We are coming up towards turn 1, looking for the 50 board. Seeking towards the inside. Remember, you're coming over a slight crest, so you want to go across like that. We are keeping the car tied to the apex and we are definitely getting an okay exit compared to the previous lap on this run. Coming into the hairpin and bringing the car towards the inside. I am running a tiny bit deep, but we managed to find a late apex, power out of there. And let's just carry as much speed as possible through this corner, getting back onto the power. I lost a bit of time there because I had a bit of struggle turning the car, but we are still up on the time. And now for the penultimate corner, getting the car turned. You can see I am coming on and off the throttle a bit just to make sure the car gets around the corner. And now we've got one final corner to go. I am looking at the end of the trees more than the 50 board. So you can brake a bit harder and you can come off the brake and make the rear end step out a tiny bit, finding the last bit of the curb and powering across the line. And this is a 1 minute 11.589. So I've done just over half an hour and I just got into the 1% at the time I did this time trial. I've got a good buffer to the gold limit. So I am just going to leave this for now. This was an honest first impressions. A combo where I felt comfortable and fairly confident. So instead of pushing for the full hour, I decided to just leave it for now. I can always get back and see if I can gain some more time. But that will be it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.